Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Go ahead, Stacey. Let them have it. Let them have it, boo. You from the D. Don't forget that. They just been on you and they just attacking you and you a liar, 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 liar. And they act like they don't lie, 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 lie. Baby, AJ put that battery in your back, huh, girl? He was like, Zen, Zen. Oh, what is going on? Don't forget what I told you. Activate now, Stacey. Do it. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha, y'all, and get into another episode, The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 10, Blunt Truths. How do you rate this week's episode, besties? I just got through watching it. It's a thumbs up for me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Please drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought. Please like the video and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And welcome to my new besties. I see you, but I don't think you have subscribed to my channel. So can you please hit the subscribe button, please? Like the video, comment, and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. And might I say, welcome to Behind the Shade. Okay, y'all. So Wendy meets Giselle at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. And honey, Wendy's sunnies she had on were so cute on her. They complimented her face. They were cute. I loved them. I love sunglasses. So Giselle needs a new whip. You know, she's staying a G-Wagon, honey, but now she wants electric because she's worried about the ice glaciers. Okay, they're melting, and when she gets this electric wagon, they're gonna freeze. Okay. Why does Giselle act like she's stupid? This woman is college educated, and that doesn't mean that you know everything about everything. But you wouldn't think Giselle is college educated. You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think she was a soror. She's in a sorority. I think she's an AKA. You wouldn't think that of her. Why does she dumb down? Or is she just, yeah, because I do know a girl who is just, oh my gosh, I can't believe she got a college education. When she graduated from, I ain't gonna put her business out there. When she graduated from a school in Atlanta, I said, honey, they must be giving out degrees because if she got one, anybody could graduate. Okay, back to them. So Wendy tells Giselle that she wants the G Wagon too, honey. And so she said, but she's not gonna pull a Stacey. So she's telling Giselle now she gonna pick a different color. Giselle is like, I appreciate that. So Giselle asked Wendy, about Stacey, what's up, what you think? And Wendy feels like, Stacey just can't tell you that she likes whatever it is that you're doing or what you're wearing. So she mimics you. Because now Stacey then reached out to Wendy's stylist. Honey, and in this episode, she telling Tia that she can't dress. And I'm sitting here like, Stacey, you are no, too soon, babe. Too soon. Calm down. So Wendy is telling Giselle that Stacey is not a bad person. She's very sweet, just real sweet. Giselle is like, I'll let you have her, because she's a big fat liar. She's sneaky, and everybody has issues with her. I'm taking a step back from Stacey because I don't have any energy for her. I said, well, honey, Giselle, when you find out about Wendy and Eddie and them fraud charges, we gonna see if you gonna have no energy for them too, honey. I just want to see. You know what I'm saying? So then they talk about Monique. Wendy said, oh, she seemed really light and positive, and Giselle wants to have a one-on-one with Monique. Uh-huh. She want to clear the air, honey. So, baby, Stacey is launching her new brand, honey. She gonna have her event on Juneteenth. She will be the first Black woman to own her own cannabis brand in the state of Virginia, and nobody cares. I was watching the after show, and Ashley is just over there hating. I asked people, I looked it up, I even asked Google. I did not see that she was the first Black woman to own a cannabis brand in Virginia. You know, Virginia's a big state. Monique just a laughing. And it's like, well, she is. It's on Google. And even Ebony Magazine wrote up an article about Stacey being the first Black woman cannabis brand owner in the state of Virginia. But nobody cares. So Stacey invited everyone to her pop-up, but she's not sure who will come because don't nobody like her. So she's telling AJ he came into town to come. So she's telling him that Ashley and Kay are saying Stacey was dating Chris and trashing Monique. AJ asks, well, how would Ashley know all this? Right. Okay. So then she tells him about Tia reading her. And then he reminds Stacey that she is from the D and she needs to speak up for herself. Put your foot down, Stacey, and check them broads. Okay. Stacey's like, well, I'm non-confrontational, but enough is enough. Yeah, it is. So this is AJ putting the battery in her bag. Doop, 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 doop. Check, check, click, click. Yep. So Tia is doing great in the real estate world. It's time for her to build a team because she's so busy she can't handle her flow. So she calls Stacey because she wants to figure out what's going on between them. There's a little rift going on. And being that Stacey invited her to her event, she want to chat it up with Stacey because she's upset with Stacey. Okay. So then Ashley and Josh go to some place like Dave and Buster's. They having fun doing kitty stuff, because he's a young guy, right? They're about the same age. I think Josh is younger than Ashley, right? And so, Ashley is used to an old fogey. She want her old man. She's looking for a father figure, right? This ain't her thing. So, her and Josh met a year ago. Remember they did a speed dating thing, whatever. And so a year later, she's now divorced. They're kind of still dating, kind of in a relationship, probably on and off and on. I don't know. So she wants to talk to him, and she's like, I'm sure you want to get married and have babies. She's older. So she's telling him, like, if you want to have kids, and he's like, yep. She was like, well, I'm going to have to hurry up and have one like in a year or two. Like Ashley is pushing 40. So then she talk about finances. And he tells her, baby, wait, you don't know what my finances are. Don't let this chill life fool you. Just because I ain't bragging and throwing money around don't mean I don't have any, honey. She was like, well, you don't take me on no trips. He said, I invited you to Pittsburgh or somewhere. Maybe that's where he's from. She was like, no, I'm talking about international trips. And it's like, oh my gosh, you can hear the desperado coming out of Ashley, the materialistic Ashley. This Ashley is healed and she is ready for another sugar daddy. Okay. Ashley wants a man or a woman to take care of her, pretty much. And remember, y'all, when Wendy was telling Ashley last season, like, girl, what you gonna do with Jack Harlow? So Jack Harlow is not enough man for Ashley. She needs somebody older. She don't really want to have no kids because she's okay with the two she got. But I guess she probably would want to have a kid for her husband, but Josh ain't doing it for her. He ain't got the money or the age. Okay. And she's not comfortable in this relationship because this ain't what she wants. Um, Ashley says she takes care of folks in her family, and we know she's talking about her mother and that man. That's why she keep bringing it up every season, because she takes care of Sheila. That's why Sheila be coming over. Sheila come see them grandkids, talk to Ashley, and I bet you Ashley gives her a check, cash app, Apple Pay, Zelle, Venmo. I bet you every time Sheila come around, she got a handout. And Ashley don't want to be broke like her mama. So she not trying to get with Lil Young and then be stuck with him. And so I read a comment. They said that Ashley got that check from Michael through in this divorce, and honey, she feeling herself. Because Miss Mama's did went and bought her a stylist, honey, and all the things. So Monique and Giselle meet for lunch. They get down to the get down, honey. Giselle was like, "Is this gonna be a drag me, Monique?" Monique was like, "No, girl, I am delivered." She says, "I have done some self reflection. I used to play victim and I was just mad at everybody. So since her divorce, she is healed and repairing her relationships. She's repaired her relationship with her mom, her dad, and now it's Giselle's turn, honey." And Giselle looking like, "Okay, okay." And to me, y'all, I don't know. Giselle look like she on some BS to me. She look like she's still on some, girl, I'm gonna still jump in your. But she told her though, actually, right? Let's keep going. Now, Giselle likes to be in people's relationships. That is what Monique is telling her. And she says, "Giselle, you attacked my relationship, so I did it back to you towards your daughter." And she says she feels really, sorry about that. And so then Giselle is sorry for her part, but says, the fight in the barn with Candace, that was a lot. And it's like, "Giselle, be quiet." And so she was telling her, "I was just trying to figure out, Monique, who was making you crazy, Chris?" So Monique was like, "You're married to a public figure. You know that, Giselle. It's pressure. It's a certain image you have to, have. And then that's mixed with being a perfectionist. And, it's just a lot." So they decide that they will talk from now on. Then Giselle says, "We could talk trash to each other, but then after that, we could trash each other. But then after that, we going to talk." So I said, "You see what? Giselle is on that BS. They going to be fighting by next episode." So, honey, I do not know why Greg agreed to go down to this jewelry store with Kay's mom and Angel to go look at some engagement rings. Child, they like 125,000, 180,000. Did y'all see when Greg turned around, looked at the door? He was ready to run. And it just seems like somebody put him up to this, the mama. Kay, I don't know, but bruh is nervous. Them numbers are high. Then the mama is being pushy. "Oh no, you gonna get her a ring." He like, "Well, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk to her first." "No, you don't need to talk to her. She want this one right here. Oh, and you gonna buy her condo too, right? Like as a wedding gift, right? That's what you're gonna be doing." And it's like, what is the purpose in buying the condo if you're getting engaged and he got this brand new house? What is the purpose? Are y'all gonna live separately? Is it you're gonna rent it out? What are we doing? Why is it so imperative to get this condo? But Greg is nervous because it's costing him a lot to be with this girl. I don't know. I don't know. It don't look like he all in to me. So Ashley and her sister, they go furniture shopping. The sister's getting ready to go to college. She's a minimalist. So I was wondering, why are y'all in this store? Because it was just a store full of trinkets and stuff, the accessories and all the stuff. It was like all she needs is a bed, a couch, and a chair and a desk. That's what and a lamp. That's all she needs. One pot, one plate, one glass, one fork, maybe two if she drops one. She's a minimalist. What are we doing? So they're sitting down talking about her parents, her sister's parents, which is they share the same mother, of course, Sheila, and that old person that's a dick, the guy who is overly stimulated by illegal substances. This is her father. I think her name is Jessica. So she tells the parents when she leaves for college, she may not come back to visit because of the father. He's too much. So she cries, and Ashley tells her that she is there for her. So the frauds, Wendy and Eddie, they have a pop-up on the same day as Stacey. And so that we learned that Stacey did not invite Wendy because of her launch. She said because there's a conflict of interest. And I'm like, how dare you, Stacey, say that to Wendy when you are the conflict of interest? You've stolen all of Eddie's ideas. You know, you got the gummies now, but you probably are going to heighten your menu of options. But you've stolen all his ideas. But honey, Eddie over there, child, he got 27 products. The new one is named after Wendy, the Nutty Professor. That was cute. Stacey has two gummies, Rise and Shine, or something they call. So Stacey is at her launch. Jasty shows up. Hey, friend. Hey, girl. And y'all, I heard today in real time, Jasty and Stacey are not cool no more. I read something this week that said Jasty cropped Stacey out of her pictures, her wedding pictures. Honey, honey. So then Tia shows up. Ashley comes, but Angel, Giselle, and Kay, they said they were not coming. They ain't fooling with Stacey. Now remember, Giselle says she don't have the energy. Timu was not there because he's traveling like he always does. Ooh, was that a lie, y'all? What y'all think? So, because why can't he be there for her? Aren't y'all trying to work on your marriage? Anyway, Ashley shows up and Stacey has on a denim dress that Ashley wore before 1 or 2 weeks ago. And it's like, don't do me like that. This is my event. Okay, so I have on a dress that you have. Don't blast me out like that in front of everybody. So Ashley was like, are you trying to beat me? Of course she is. Wendy just said she don't compliment you. She mimics you. Ciao. Stacey takes Ashley away because she wants to have a little talk. So Stacey asks Ashley, how do we move forward? You seem to only concentrate on the negative stuff about me. Ashley is like, because I see you in different lights, Stacey. Like you just forever changing and always lying. So Stacey says everything you bring up has been proven to be false. Like with Monique. Ashley says Monique has let it go and so have I. Stacey's like, well, Wendy has let it go too. She don't have a problem with me and owning my own business, even though I'm copying and mimicking Eddie. Oh, and y'all, here's the tea. On the after show, Wendy told Stacey that she was trying to get Ashley to wear a Happy Eddie t-shirt to her launch. She said, but she could not get a shirt delivered to Ashley in time because Wendy said I was not coming or driving to Virginia for that. And I'm like, Wendy, don't you live in Virginia? Okay. I don't know. We'll move on. So Ashley says, well, I don't either. Like she don't have a problem with her business. She said, I don't either. But what I want you to do is stop being a lying HOE. What? Ashley, you can't be calling people a HOE. You just can't be calling people out their names and then you calling them a prostitute. What does that have to do with selling cannabis and selling gummies? And so Stacey tells Ashley, you need to stop. Ashley tells Stacey, you need to stop too. Now everybody is looking on, child. It's all kind of white folks in there. They all looking, and even Jasty and Tia are like, what's going on? AJ comes over asking. They're like, we don't know, child. And so I heard Ashley say, if Stacey stops lying, Ashley stops talking. I was like, oh, Ashley, you so jealous of Stacey. You can't handle it. And I just really think that Ashley needs to go away. Yeah, I think Ashley, I guess you bringing in Monique is good because she needs to replace you. I'm more concerned about Monique and her animals. I want to hear all about the birds and all the whatever she got in there. I want to hear all about it. Because Ashley, we know you did me over when you brought Sheila. You still talking about her boyfriend. She been with that man longer than you. You can talk smack about them, but let me tell you, they got that woman gonna stay with that man, honey. It shouldn't even be a topic. And you can tell that Ashley paying for stuff because she's still bringing up stuff that bothers her. So, no more lies, Ashley says. Stacey says, no more hazing. Ashley says, no more lies. Stacey says, no more negativity. Ashley says, no more lies. Stacey says, no more evil. And they just stop because Ashley stops because Stacey ain't gonna stop. I said, all right, Stacey. AJ, you did good with that battery. They apologized to everyone at the event because everybody is looking at them. And so then the ladies have a sit down. Stacey is like offering them something to drink, fruit, what y'all want. Because it's Juneteenth, right? And so Ashley explains that in this group that she's been in for 10 years or such, she said, we hold each other to the fire. So Stacey says, I can kind of see I see that. And then Stacey talks to Tia about her inviting Stacey and Timo to dinner with Wendy and Eddie and her husband. And so she's kind of, explaining how she introduced Timu to Tia first because, she felt that Tia was neutral. And so then at dinner, Tia and her husband and Wendy and Eddie went to dinner. And, Tia was trying to get Timu and Stacey to come. And so Wendy called Stacey because she said, oh, yeah, she was supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I met Timu. And so Wendy was like, you met Timu before me? And so they called Stacey. So Stacey tells Tia, you called me. I never agreed to coming to dinner. And yeah, I told you Timu was traveling. And so Stacey said she heard Tia in the background say, oh, she's full of it. Tia says, no, I said that when you said, oh, he just flew back in. And then I said that because you were full of it. Stacey does not feel comfortable bringing Timu around this group of people. He ain't with all this drama. I keep telling y'all, Stacey has lightweight embarrassed him. You had the TJ of it all. And now this season, y'all talking about Chris. He don't want to, what's going on? What is happening? So, she's telling Tia, he don't feel comfortable. And this, none of this is your business. We don't feel comfortable with bringing him around Wendy, is what she said. Tia kept trying to cut Stacey off. And Stacey like, let me finish. Ashley said, let her land the plane, Tia. AJ was like, Zen, remember Zen. And so they said the reason why she not cool with Wendy, with Timu being around Wendy, is because Wendy announced at the reunion that TJ told Eddie that Stacey was paying him to be a love interest. And so I said, well, he was a terrible love interest. Maybe Timu paid TJ to not be a love interest. Maybe that's why TJ was so awful. Oh, and I hope you got your money back, Stacey, because he was terrible. So, honey, Stacey tells Tia, you overstepping coming into this group. You trying to play catch up and you need to chill. Tia says she heard things about Stacey coming into this group. And, it was Giselle giving her the thing. So she said, I heard some things that are alleged about you. So she said Stacey told her she was supposed to have her back with these ladies. You're a liar. I never told you that. I'm like, child, can you imagine a liar calling you a liar? Can you imagine a liar calling you a liar? So Tia says, stop trying to hijack this conversation. Just shut up for a second. And so Stacey was like, wait, what? You ain't going to tell me to shut up, not at my event. So they go back and forth and back again. And then, Stacey's telling Tia, like, you act like you are so prim and proper. I am prim and proper. You want to fit in so bad. You still don't fit in, and you've been here over a year. I was like, get her, Tia. That was good. That was good. What we got? Two for Tia and two for Stacey. They neck and neck, child. And so then Stacey says, you are a try hard. Child. What? I don't know what a try hard is, but baby, I like it. I don't even know what it means. I like it. Of course, it means somebody who's trying too hard, fake, phony. I said, not a try hard. She said, and just like your fashions. But baby, wait a minute. You can't talk, Stacey. Not yet. Not yet. Child. So, what does Tia? No. Go back. Tia said, and you still don't effing fit in after a year in this group. Then Jassy says, no, Tia, you don't have, you should be swearing at her event. These are not Juneteenth, vibes. And so Stacey's like, cause she don't have no manners. She's not a lady. She's not ladylike like she acts like she is. And honey, let me tell you, Stacey said, get out. Get your stuff and get out. Toodle-doo. Toodle-doo. And Tia walked off and said, F you. Then she telling the people that's selling the stuff, they look good. She not buying nothing because Stacey is trash, but they look good. Child, not toodle-doo. Honey, Stacey told Tia, toodle-doo, be gone. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. It's going down. The new girls are carrying the show because Giselle is sat back. Giselle sitting back, Ashley trying too hard, Wendy doing her job. Are those the only old people? That's the only OGs? Child, we didn't see none of just a little bit of Angel and none of Kay. Praise goodness. No Cookie, no Sharice, no Chris. That was good. Did y'all see the previews for next week, honey? Angel has to move out of that home rental. They moving back to Colorado. What happened to the house? Thought they was buying a house. That's what she said last week. Something happened. She ain't telling them. But baby, I'm over here looking like, well, isn't Tia a realtor? She could definitely find out. 2-3 clicks on her phone, she can find out what happened to Angel. What had happened, child? What had happened? Angel and Kay, y'all were not missed. I will tell you that. And next season, Monique might be a castmate. Karen gonna come back, and that's gonna be good. But besties, I gotta go because I gotta go review Married to Medicine. I took a nap. It's almost 11 p.m. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to put Married to Medicine out tonight. If it's hecka good, I will. If not, I'll bring it to you tomorrow. I don't have much to do. But besties, I'll be back with another recap. Married to Medicine. Bye, besties.